What is up, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today is going to be the final video of 2017, and on the final video of every year, I like to sort of go over the year that I've had, whether that be in real life, on the channel, or otherwise, and then sort of set up some goals for the next year. So let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, guys, we have to talk, just so you know, off to the right side, I do have a list sort of bullet pointed of everything I want to talk about during the video. I'm not great at just rolling everything off the top of my head in most videos, so I just figured I might as well do that since I don't want to miss anything. So first, we're going to talk about the channel, what I've made, the games that I've covered, and just generally how I feel about it, because there was a whole lot of stuff that we did this year. This has been my most active year on YouTube. I've made well over 300 videos this year, and I've also done quite a few live streams as well. You know, lots and lots of content, lots and lots of stuff that I've recorded and taken part in and everything, projects and all. So we started out with Pokemon Go, and at the start of 2017, I was making like 1 to 2 Pokemon Go videos every week. You know, one news show, and then usually like a video where I was sort of evolving things and just having a good time with that. It was just a casual thing that I was doing because, again, making those vlogs and everything, I just wasn't comfortable with my quality. So I was looking towards new games, looking towards, you know, brighter horizons and all that good stuff. Grass is greener on the other side and all that. So I went straight over to the newly released Pokemon Duel and then Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because both of those were a lot of fun for me to play off of video, so I figured I might as well just try them out on video. And both of them actually got a lot of numbers for the channel. A lot of you guys actually really seem to enjoy both of those games. That said, I saw a lot of potential with Pokemon Duel and what they could eventually do with the game and the updates and just new features and things they could eventually add to it. So I decided to go ahead and put a lot of my eggs in that basket. I stopped doing Duel Links because the community, let's be honest, is very, very condescending to people that aren't great at card games, and I am not great at card games, as many of you probably know. So, you know, I just sort of bowed out of the Duel Links community at that point, and then went just full bore into Pokemon Duel because I just saw a lot of potential with it. That said, you know, as you guys know, after about 6 or 7 months of covering it pretty much every day, sometimes a couple times a day, I got pretty burnt out on Pokemon Duel. And overall, I think that a lot of the reason was because every 2 weeks you had to sort of grind out whatever I guess the victory figure was. You know, like you grind out the 35 wins or whatever for the Gym Cup figure, okay? That's what it is, right? The Gym Cup figure. So you had to grind those things out, and that really, really soured my opinion of the game. And then as time went on, they didn't really add the updates that I expected them to eventually add. You know, we never really got any new boards or anything like that. And even now, if they would actually go back and add some of those features, whether that be 2v2, Battle Royales, new boards of some kind, plenty of new effects could possibly be added to spinners. I mean, I would be down to try it out again. You know, probably not on video, but I would definitely just try it and see how good it is. But, you know, it's just something that had so much potential, and they just sort of threw it away because they didn't want to affect the sales of the main series games. And I see that same thing with Pokemon Go as well. There's a lot of potential for competition of some kind with both of those games, and they just totally neglect that potential. So it's really unfortunate, because those games have great bones, and I feel like they could really go far if they were to put some level of complexity into it and some level of production into competitions of some kind. It's just they didn't do that, so, you know, we had to just sort of go away from that, because there was no way that it was going to continue going the way it was for the first 3 months or so, which was just really fantastic. Again, I think that once Deoxys was introduced into the game, things started heading downhill, and then, you know, it was like at first like a sort of snowball rolling down the hill, but then you had sort of the avalanche effect where it just kept picking up speed, picking up more snow, and eventually you just got a big avalanche heading down the hill, and it's just not stopping for anything. So I think that game is on its way out at this point, honestly. You know, a lot of you guys probably disagree. I know a lot of you still play Pokemon Duel, and nothing against that, but the game is not very friendly to content creators, and the developers are not very friendly to content creators. So I figured I would go ahead and again try to broaden my horizons, sort of figure out exactly what I wanted to do on the channel for a long period of time, something I could stick with for even years, and maybe be able to make something out of for the channel. Because again, you know, content creators are really discouraged from talking about their ambitions and their goals and the things that they do want to do, whatever that may be. Maybe that's monetary success, maybe that's supporting themselves, maybe that's just being a hobby and being able to make some friends. But a lot of times, content creators are sort of discouraged from talking about that. Well, I'm going to be totally 100% upfront with you guys. I want to make content creation my job. I want it to be something I do every day. I want to hang out with you guys every single day, all the time. It is the only thing that keeps me going, other than like the community in general and then my family and stuff. But it's the thing that keeps me motivated and going, is making content for you guys every day. So being able to record videos and edit and stream, it's my favorite thing. It's the only thing I enjoy, and I always want to improve and get better at it. It's something that I've always enjoyed it since, like, I want to say 5th grade. I got into it with, Windows Movie Maker, making claymations with my little brother. I mean, and like one of my friends. I mean, it's something I've always enjoyed, and it's something that I want to make my job. So I have that ambition, and I want to have some game that's compatible with that ambition, because if there isn't any room for a content creator to be supported by the community for the game, then it's not a game that I don't think I can it's not a game I think I can make videos on, I guess. So then in that search, obviously it took about a month or two before we finally found something, and then Supercell came out with this awesome new YouTuber tournament, which everyone was flipping out about, from a game called Brawl Stars, which I know everyone is familiar with at this point. So it is a fantastic game. Obviously, it's been in beta for a very long time. They're probably learning a lot. I talked about this in another video, but they're probably learning from mistakes that other game companies like Niantic have made, and mistakes that maybe they've made in their previous releases. Obviously, a lot of the community had issues with Clash Royale on release, so maybe they're trying to sort of pull away from those issues and fix all of the things that those games had issues with immediately upon release, because they weren't necessarily in a finished state when they were released to the general public. So I definitely get why they're in their beta. That said, it's made it sort of this delayed thing as far as the content creation goes, because obviously the community is not huge yet, even though it will be. It definitely will be. That's what I'm sort of confident in when it comes to this game. The bones are so good, the gameplay is so good, everything about it's so good, and that's why I've put so much time into it. You can feel the passion that the developers have for making this game successful, and that's why, despite a lot of anger that the general community has about not being on Android or not being global yet, they're still okay with it, because the developers are putting all the work in, and they're okay with all the outrage, because they're going to make an awesome end product that a lot of people are going to enjoy for a long time. So that's why I moved into Brawl Stars, just sort of condensed down into a sort of small explanation there. And that's why I think that 2018 will be the year of Brawl Stars. I'm nearly positive we are going to see a lot of success from this game, both in the content creation scene and for Supercell themselves. I think it's going to eclipse their wildest dreams. I think it's going to be not necessarily a Pokemon Go level phenomenon, but it's going to be up there. So that's about it as far as just my general video content creation is concerned. I guess just towards the end of this discussion, I wanted to say that I am going to be bringing back Twitch streams in full force. Definitely, I have no doubt in my mind we are going to be doing this every single day that I can possibly do it. I'm going to be putting in so many hours, and we'll talk a little bit more about why in just a little bit, but this is something I have a lot of ambition for, and I think that you guys should expect that from me as a content creator. So we are going to be doing live streams on Twitch. Go ahead and head over to my Twitch link, which is in the description below, or twitch.tv/RazorChicken, again, spelled the normal way I spell chicken without the second C. So, if you want to go ahead and click that follow button, be notified whenever I go live, then maybe we can hang out on stream, have a good time. I'm going to be just playing some fun games there. We're going to build a completely I guess similar fun and accepting community that could just play games and hang out together and everything over there, but it's going to be different games. You know, we're not going to be doing a whole lot of Brawl Stars and everything, whereas back on the channel, we are going to be doing a ton of Brawl Stars. So it's sort of just changing things up for a different service and all that, making a brand new community, but having the same values and everything. So hopefully you guys are down for that. You know, I'm very excited to get Twitch back up and running because, again, like I've got a lot of really fond memories about Twitch streaming when I first got into streaming. So I definitely want to get back to it. You know, I have so many fond memories about like my first raids that I got from people in like Realm of the Mad God, and when I was playing Pokemon and everything, hanging out with everyone in chat. Like it was a fun time, you know? So next up, I wanted to talk a little bit about my health because I haven't mentioned it in any videos recently since my endoscopy. So basically, in February, I started having a pain under my lowest left rib, okay? And initially, we kind of thought that it was something that I sort of inflicted on myself because we lifted a very heavy vanity, and it sort of was probably a little bit too heavy for just two people to be lifting, especially when one person was me. I'm not exactly buff or anything, so I don't know if I should have been lifting that anyways, but there's something called costochondritis, whereas where basically your muscles that are right under your ribs and on your ribs sort of tear, and you can get some pretty immense pain from that. So we kind of figured that's what it was, but over time it just didn't get better. You know, all of these medications I was taking should have fixed it, and it didn't get better. So it was really affecting me pretty significantly at that point. So I went in, had a whole bunch more tests done. You know, I had x-rays and CAT scans and blah 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 blah, you know, all sorts of things. Eventually I started having some pretty significant stomach pain as well, so they went in with an endoscopy and put the endoscope all the way down, knocked me out and everything, um to see if anything was going on down there. Maybe I had like an ulcer or something. I didn't have an ulcer, but they did do a biopsy of my small intestine, which came back as consistent and positive for celiac disease, which is basically whenever you have gluten, like whenever I eat gluten, my body just goes just crazy and attacks my small intestine lining, like the lining in my small intestine, right? So that's like a very bad thing that can very significantly hurt you later on if you just sort of ignore it. Also, it really messes with your head. It gives you this sort of hazy gray vision. It's not fun. So yeah, that wasn't the best thing to be diagnosed with, but it wasn't the worst. You know, it was definitely something manageable. I changed up my diet. I've been gluten-free for a few months now, and things are definitely better in some ways. You know, my haziness in my brain, it's gone, right? That's amazing. I'm very, very happy about that. Some of those sort of pains and feelings have gone away, but the pain under my ribs, and now it's also under my right rib, my lowest right rib, has not gone away at this point, okay? And as time goes on, it tends to get just worse and worse. It's not all the time that it's happening, but it is relatively consistent. I do feel it pretty much every day for varying amounts of time. So I've had a lot of tests done. Again, you know, plenty of blood tests. Pretty much every time I go to the doctor, which is a couple times a month usually at this point, I have a couple blood tests done to test for some new stuff or whatever. I just had an ultrasound done last Wednesday, so I will keep you guys updated. I guess I'm just telling you guys all this so you sort of know what's going on, because I've mentioned it here and there on Twitter because I've just been emotional or angry about it, right? But this year has just been kind of a rough year, you know? And I think that the main reason I want to tell you guys all this is because you helped me get through all this, you know? You guys were the driving force behind me continuing to function like a normal person despite all of the pain, okay? And I'm not trying to throw a pity party here or anything. I'm just genuinely trying to thank you because you guys are awesome, and the support that you've given on my content has been so overwhelmingly positive. You know, even the criticisms and everything, people saying maybe they don't like my new intro, or they don't like the intro music, or maybe they don't like, you know, my background, or my quality's off for a video or two or something. Everything helps out. It's all appreciated, and I really, really, really want to thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for all of the support you've given me this year, because it has easily, even though it's been a very rough year for me personally in my real life and everything, On YouTube, it's been the best year my channel's ever had. You know, we went from about 5,000 subs and dropping. Okay, we were dropping at the beginning of the year. My channel was dying from just the Pokemon Go stuff that I was putting out. We went just straight up. You know, we are almost at 16,000 members of the coop, which is unbelievable. You know, we set the goal as 10,000, and you guys just blew it out of the water. So I cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. It really keeps me going, and it helps me continue doing things that I really, really don't want to be doing in pursuit of something more, you know? And I really have to thank you guys, because I don't know where I'd be without you, honestly. So the last thing I wanted to mention in this video was my goals for next year, because pretty much every one of these sort of update videos year to year, I've been doing some kind of goal. And I think this year is a little bit make and break compared to the last few years. So this year, again, I just mentioned it, we met our goal of 10,000 members of the coop and then some. So it's pretty crazy. We're at 16,000-ish, you know, just a little bit less than that to end out the year, which is unbelievable. Again, thank you guys so much for the support. So not even just like on the day-to-day content that I've been making, but because I've been, you know, transferring what I'm doing over time to game to game to game to game. You know, we went through like 4 games this year, and a lot of you guys are still in my comment section, still hanging out, still having a good time. It's really awesome, and it's really humbling, and I really do appreciate it. So I guess this year, my goal isn't necessarily going to be a number goal for subs or anything like that. You know, obviously, you always want to grow subs, okay? You always want to make your publicity as big as it can be. You want your viewer base to be as big as it can be. You want to have all of the friends, know all the content creators, you know, have all the sponsorships and everything. You see people at the top of their game, and that's like the aspiration. You know, you want to be in their position or in some similar position. But I do think that this year's goal is going to be my most ambitious goal yet, but not necessarily a number goal in the same way. So I need to be able to support myself monetarily this year. This needs to happen this year, right? I've got a year and a half of college, just 3 semesters, okay, of college left. So by the end of 2018, I need to be able to support myself on YouTube or Twitch, either one, you know, monetarily, so I can be out on my own, doing my own thing, and that I can live doing this as my job. That is my goal for 2018. And I know that's a big goal. I know that a lot of people always are going to tell me that I can't do that, or that that's not possible, or it's not realistic, or it's not safe. You know, there are always going to be risks involved with putting a lot of stock in things that aren't guaranteed. But I do feel like the potential with what we're moving into now with Brawl Stars, with what we're moving into now with Twitch, with what we're moving into now with YouTube, I mean, I feel like the potential is there to really propel me into a career of content creation. I really genuinely feel like that. And I know some of you guys are going to tell me that you don't think that's true, or that it's risky or whatever. And I know some of you guys are going to have my back the whole way, but I'm going to make it happen this year, right? I will work harder than anyone at this. I will put every hour I need to and then some into it. I won't sleep. You know, I'll do everything I need to make this happen, okay? I will do everything I need to. I'm going to be putting so much time into content creation that it will be impossible for me not to reach this goal. This year, mark my words, will be the biggest year that we've had so far. Last year eclipsed the year before, eclipsed the year before. This year will eclipse everything before, and much, much more, guys. I'm not going to give us a sub growth estimate. I'm not going to give us a goal for sub growth or anything this year, because I think the sky is genuinely the limit with what we're about to do this year, okay? And I know it's just an arbitrary goal or whatever, because it's just, you know, moving from day to day. Every day is the same as the last, blah, 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 you know? But honestly, like, this has to be my year. I have to make it my year. And, you know, the clock's going to tick over to midnight tonight, guys. It's going to roll over to 2018. We're going to celebrate. And then it is just time to just hammer in that success, okay? I need it to happen because I want to do this for the rest of my career. I want to so badly, more than anything else that I've ever done in my entire life, and it will happen. I will make it happen. So I'm hopeful that you guys are going to be along for the ride. I thank you guys for being along for the ride so far. It's been a crazy one. You know, we've had our ups and downs, but it's been a lot of fun so far. And I just have to thank you all for the support. We are going to have such a fun 2018. I have so many goals, so many ideas, so many things that I'm going to be doing, and I'm hoping you guys are along for it. You know, that's really what it comes down to. Is as long as you guys are around and you're in the community, you know, it's all going to be worth it. So thank you guys so much for the support. I really do appreciate all the support. It's been unbelievable. You know, a lot of times moving from game to game, channels will just die, okay? They'll go from getting, you know, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 views every single video. They'll go down to nothing. They'll go down to 100 or 200. But, you know, even though we have a sizable dip in viewership month to month going from Pokemon Duel over to Brawl Stars, it's still been an overwhelming amount of support for the Brawl Stars content that I've been making, for the streams, for the videos, for everything, you know, and I really have to thank you guys. And I can't thank you enough. Honestly, I think I feel like a broken record at this point, but it's never enough. I can't thank you enough for it, really. So thank you so much. Here's to a fantastic 2017, you know, on YouTube and on Twitch and everything going into 2018. I am so excited, guys. I'm so excited.